Just in case they ain't get the picture the first time around.
I see you, hater. My motivator. Y'all make me greater.
Let him put his spray touch on it, man, for Danny. I'm gonna go pick out the color for the interior, man, sometime this week.
Yeah.
And when I do, you know, I'm gonna send you a piece of it. And I match the paint up and everything. But I want to kind of do like a cool design, like how you did Swag Dash with the speaker pods at the top. I know I wanted something with the speaker pods and stuff at the top. But I don't know, I might have to end up trying to find another piece to go right here. Cause you know, in some of the El Caminos, they got it with where it say Chevrolet right here. Or if you want to try to make a whole nother piece to go right here, that's totally up to you, brother.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, but
what color you going with this, black?
I don't know. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Several months later.
I'm out here checking this dash shop that I'm about to start on. It's for Life with the Ikes for his wife. They got a Malibu they finna build. And he want me to do the dash, fiberglass it. Fix all these cracks. And I'm out here trying to come up with a game plan on how I'm gonna do this Plexi-Glass. Rich Everything, he had made some Plexi-Glass for him. I got it right here. I'll open it in a second. This the bezel that goes here. He gonna put a digital dash in it, so we're not gonna worry about this here. And this the piece that goes right here. This actually a Monte Carlo dash, as you can see right there. But I'm gonna remove that, and he gonna put a Malibu sign there. I think we're gonna paint this black. This gonna be black, and we're gonna do away with the speakers. I think we're gonna put mesh grill here with a defrost vents at, and that Plexi-Glass gonna be here. Let me sit you up, then we're gonna open everything and try to come up with some kind of design for the Plexi-Glass. We're gonna remove this off the table, get it out the way. Guess we'll take it over here. No, we'll just put it right here. Ike had sent me back the paint. If y'all can recall, I used this same paint when I did the dash in the box Chevy. Seems like it's ain't much been used, but we're gonna use the same color. And this the Plexi-Glass that Rich made for us. He made some more though, but we're just gonna concentrate on the Malibu. We're gonna use a clear light on the back side of it, so it's gonna light up clear. I already done purchased some lights for it. Let me take it over here. I just got off the phone with Ike to make sure which way he wants this facing. So we're gonna face it this way. So like if you're on the outside of the car, you'll be able to read it from the outside. So it's gonna be facing this way here. I just gotta come up with some kind of design, cause I'm gonna connect the defrost vents with this here. So let me get some paper, and try to freestyle something right quick. This is the design I came up with, but I'm not gonna go with it. It's gonna be for my outer design. I'm over here coming up with a different design. I think I'm gonna go with this one here. This is just one side up. I was gonna show you how you can come up with the same design. I had measured it This is gonna be the middle. Let me show you here how you do it. I'm gonna cut this out here. Cut it a little bit past the middle. Then I'm gonna draw my line here, straight down the middle. Then what you do, you just fold it over. Then take your pencil, pen, whatever you got, and just trace this here out. See, I be doing everything by hand. I ain't got no machines or nothing, CNC machines. Then you just, not trace it, but cut the rest of it out. Let me cut it out. Well, I can do it now. I ain't got to cut you off. That's gonna be my design. This the inside. Then you just take it, trace it back out on another piece of paper. Then you cut the inside out, then you're good to go. Let me go on and handle that. Okay, this is what we got. We're gonna have it turned this way. Let me go to the other side. Because remember, he wanted so you can see it from the outside. Like if he be at car shows, you'll be able to see it. Read it. Now, I'm gonna make some paper. The actual size of the vents. Not make some paper, but I'm gonna trace some out. The actual size of the vents. Then I connect both vents and this together. Here's both of them here. It's gonna be, well, it's not gonna be here though. I just got this so I can know the actual design for the opening. Now, what I gotta do, I got some 1/4" MDF. I'm gonna have to transfer all this over. See this here? Gonna be in the middle. Then this gonna be somewhere here. Same way with this here. I just gotta measure everything, make sure everything lined up right. Then I transfer the design over to this MDF. Then I go from there. All right, got everything traced out. As you can see, I marked these so I can know what's what, because I'm gonna use these again. So I can press my mesh in. I gotta make some more. I tried to get it even. I'm not gonna be able to tell until I start trimming it, cutting it. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna go around, or should I? Nah, I'm gonna go and cut the openings first. I'm gonna cut the openings first. So let me do that. Here's our piece cut out. We'll put it up here, see what it look like. See if everything line up. That's one vent. There's the other. Still hard to tell until we trim it out. So, cause this here hiding a lot of the dash, so we can't tell if it's lined up right, but it look like everything should be good. Now we'll take a pen, I need to find a pencil, and we'll trace out this outer edge. We're gonna leave somewhat of a lip around it. I'm just gonna take my time and go around the whole outer edge there. You can see I got my design. I think I'm gonna call it a day because I gotta go to Harbor Freight, pick up a few items. I'm gonna come back out here in the morning, get a fresh start. But the hard part is really over with, coming up with the design. Then I just cut this out in the morning. I still gotta clean all this up with some sandpaper. But that's minor work there. But I'll cut you back on in the morning though. Now we'll pick up where we left off last night. Go out here and cut this with the jigsaw. Okay, this is what we got. It's gonna be here. I think we good. Now before we go any further, we're gonna shape this on up, get it somewhat smooth, how it should be. And how we gonna do it, I just got me a paint stirrer. I put some 80 grit. Just put it on the end of it. Then we can just sand it. Sand everything smooth. Like that there. Also up in here. Then on these edges here, these contours, I got a PVC pipe. I'm just gonna cut me a piece about this size here, and we'll wrap it around a PVC pipe. Then we can get these inside contours. See, I got it shaped up, but I'm not satisfied with the alignment. See this right here, got it lined up with this front part here. This vent here is great, but this one here kind of kicked back that way. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut it right here and shape it up, then glue it back in place. You can see it's kicked back right there. And I'll be using this CA glue to glue it back. It's suitable for wood, MDF, OSB, metal, stone, natural stone, marble, leather, glass, ceramic, and so on. So I'm gonna take my jigsaw. I probably cut a straight line, I guess right here. then I could kick it down. Then I open this up some and I kick it down some. All right. See how I cut it? And I open this bottom half up some because it need to be kicked down. Need to be kicked down like that. I'm just gonna draw me a line the same size of the crack up there, like right here. That's what I need to shave off that little bit there. Then I take I could shave it off with the sandpaper. Probably got to take some more off, but you can see where I'm going with it. We're gonna put some glue on here. Also, we're gonna put some here. I had started putting some now. Then we're gonna spray a little bit of hardening on it. Buns in seconds, so gonna have to hurry up. See, it's bonded now. I'm gonna put some more and fill them cracks up there. That should be good. Then we'll take it back over here. See the fitment. I think that's good there. I think that's good there. Now we'll take our sandpaper, sand this back down smooth. Okay, I gotta sand it. Now I gotta make this same shape here. I'm gonna use it on a thicker piece of wood, not a thicker piece, but a bigger piece, because I gotta press some grills in place, and you don't want to press it in place with some of this flimsy here, because it'll crack it. Not crack it, but split it. And I'm just gonna do. Let me move this DA out the way. I'm gonna put it around about in the middle. This should be big enough so it won't split. Then I'm gonna trace this side in here. This is gonna be my template of my grill press. Then I cut this out and I use this piece of wood to press the grills in place. All right, see what we got. You wanna make sure this inside piece a lot smaller than this outer edge, because if it don't be that much smaller, it's gonna be hard to press that grill down in place. You want a gap in between. Now I'm gonna take my router and put a round over on this top part here. Okay, you can see the round over. Now I cut this on out and I press my grills in place. And on this side here, I could use the same one. You know what I'm saying? All right. Cut me 2 pieces, enough to do both vents. Sometimes it's kind of hard to press them in place without a press. I done showed different ways of doing it. This one here, I'm just gonna use a hammer and beat it in place. You could use clamps, or if you got your shot press, you can use a shot press. See, I'm gonna turn this over here. Get to a flat surface. I just got an old scrap piece of wood. Then your grill gonna be like that. This gonna be on top of it. Which you could beat this part here, but I'm trying to save it in case I need it. Again, put your wood where it need to be, make sure it's in place, then you hit it right there. You can see it starting to fall in place right there. Make sure your wood ain't moved, then you go on the other end. Once you get it started, you're good to go. You can see it's falling in place now. Just do it again. Take it on the other end. Now it shouldn't move. You can just beat it on in place now. Let me flip it over so you see what I'm doing now. Now just think if I had used this piece here, I would have split this because it's so thin. Just keep on beating it. See, everybody ain't gonna tell you this secret here. The bigger the piece, the easier it is to do. Now let me show you what it's gonna look like. Let me beat it some more before I take it out. Let me take it out. See that? And once I put my edge up here, it'll be all right. This is gonna be the same. That's why I tried to make this side here the same as that, so I can use the same template. Now make me another one. Should be good to go. All right, both vents pressed. Now I'm gonna go back and put an edge. I'm gonna put an edge around here, also around here, and now I'll be using this bit here. It's chamfer. Okay, you see my edge. Now I turn it over, and I'm gonna kind of sink this a little bit so my vents I sit down flush within the area there. You can see my countersink. Now I take my Sharpie and I trace out where I need to cut. I'm gonna trim it off so it'll fall in place. Here's both vents trimmed up. And you can see what I was going for. Plexi-Glass gonna be here. I'm gonna have this like sitting down in the dash. So I'm finna make a step up. So now I got 3/4 of an inch MDF for my step up. So I'm gonna trace this out onto here. I think that should be enough because I'm gonna put an edge on it, a round over. So I just trace this out here. Now I go cut this inside out, so this will have something to drop down into. See, I got this shaped up. It's somewhat of a snug fit because that's what I wanted. Because I'm gonna glue it together once I get everything like I want it. See, I'm gonna put a round over on this edge here. But before I do that, I'm gonna trim this area here out. That's so I can have somewhere to tie my fleece in to the wood. Then I'm gonna kind of sink the edge, the outer edge. I'm just gonna draw a line around this whole outline. Probably a 1/4 inch around the edge. Then I cut it out. Then that's when I go in and put my round over. This here don't gotta be no perfect line or nothing like that, because I'm gonna tie the fleece in to this, make it one piece. Now I put my round over here, and I put some kind of edge on here, so I have somewhere to kind of sink the fleece, so I can feather edge the fleece into the wood. Okay, the woodwork is pretty much done. Oh, let me show you. See my round over? This for my countersink for my fleece. I can build my fiberglass up to that. Like I said, it ain't gotta be perfect because once I build that fiberglass up, it's gonna look like one piece anyway. Just sitting down up in there. I'm gonna have to flex it a little bit once I put it in the dash. I'm gonna have to flex it down so because it ain't actually flat. The dash ain't actually flat. It's like curved. So I'm gonna push it down, push it in place like that. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my Sharpie and I'm gonna trace out where I need to cut out the dash. See where I need to cut out at? I'll take my jigsaw and cut that out. You can see I done cut this out. Now I could take this, set it in place. I'm gonna use some spray foam to fill out the cracks. That'll hold it in place until I fiberglass it. But I'll be spray foaming this middle part first. And once it set in place, I'll come back and push this down where it need to be, and I'll spray foam that. But I'm gonna do this middle part first. See, I got a clamp on each end, holding it down until this foam harden up. Once it harden up, I remove the clamps. Then I have to do some trimming. Foam done dried. Now what I do, I just trim it to size. It's not really trimming, I'm just gonna pull it up. Some of it I might gotta use a box cutter. And on this area here, I'm gonna have to knock this down some. So I probably remove a lot of this vinyl here. Just to get it flush with the wood. The foam just here to hold everything in place until I fiberglass it. Well, let me take care of that. I'll cut you back on. Alright, we got the foam trimmed. I knocked this down below the surface. You want to make sure all your cracked parts are below the surface, because if you don't, when you start putting that fleece on, you will have an area that's sticking up higher than the rest of it, so it's going to be hard to get it below the surface once you put that fleece on and start fiberglassing. So you want to try to knock all these high areas down. Okay, now we gonna see the dash mount. It's like 2 screws here in the vents, also 2 here. If I can find the old vent, I don't know if it's in here. Okay, here you go. You see there's a screw there and a screw there, also here and there. So in order for me to keep those mounting points, I don't want to screw it in here so you can see the screw. I'd rather be able to remove this here, which I don't want to remove all of it. I'm just going to put a line here. I'm going to split it. I'm going to put some kind of design right here so you'll be able to remove just the vent part. And then I could put the mounting holes up in here, hid. So in order for me to do that, I'm gonna have to have a base for this to sit on so it won't just fall through. So that's what I'm about to do now. I'm gonna be putting some of this on the bottom of it. Just some thin piece of wood. I just need a base for it to sit on. So let me cut some of this out, and I'll cut you back on. Let me show you what I got. These pieces I cut out, they're gonna be actually up under here. I got a lip on it so I could put it, glue it to the bottom of this. This is just to hold that piece in place, so I can take it out and put it back in, no problem. I'm gonna put this back in place, then I glue it to the back side of it. I will be using some CA glue. Same glue I used on this. Now you can see my bottom. That's just to hold this in place. You'll never see it once I put that speaker mesh on. This side here's somewhat tight, but I gotta glue it down anyway. Now what I do, I'm gonna cut a line here. I don't know if I ain't gonna cut it straight down. I probably put a little angle on it, somewhat like that, on both sides. That way I can remove just the ends. And once I cut it, I sand it, get it smooth, then I put a cove or something on it, some kind of design on both pieces. This is what we got. Disregard this here because it's gonna get filled. You'll never be able to see that. That's just where I had to piece together this wood when I had to bring it down. But this gonna be the line that I cut. Only thing left is put my edge on here on both pieces. Okay, see what we got. And then we'll glue this piece in place. I'm just sanding these here because this one had somewhat of a tight fit, which I know I'm gonna have to sand it on down the line because once I prime it and, you know, build that prime up, it's gonna be a tight fit also. So I don't want too tight of a fit, but I want it to fit snug though. You can see I got this piece glued. I'm just letting it dry. I use a combination of wood glue and CA glue. But you can see that there, that's how it's gonna fit. Which I feel these cracks up here, but this is just gonna be like it is. While I'm letting this here dry, I'm gonna jump over here and finish up what I had started. I'm making a box for my Plexi-Glass, so I have a compartment to put my LEDs in. So I got these LEDs I'm gonna put around it. I just used some strap MDF, cut some strips out. Then I make a backing out of this here. I'm gonna glue these together. And once this dry, I glue this onto the bottom side of here. It don't take long to make a mess. Here's the box and the back of it. Some of the wood came off this side, but it don't matter because I use this. Just turn it this way. Now I flip the dash over, glue it to the back side. I had already positioned my Plexi-Glass before I put this piece here on. That's why you see that red Sharpie. That's the outer part of the Plexi-Glass. Now I just need to line this up with the red Sharpie. That'll be good. I'm about to start putting the fleece on, but before I do that, I'm gonna take some fiberglass filler and fill this crack here. Also this front one. And I'm also gonna trim this back section here. So that'll give me more room. So once I build this up with fiberglass, it don't sit back too far onto the windshield. So I'm gonna trim some of it off. I'm just cutting this lip off. It's already off right there. That'll give me enough place so I can fold my fleece over on the back side, and once I build it up, it'll still be in the same position. And you can see where I put the fiberglass filler. Once I had sanded it, I came back with some glazing putty just to feather edge it. And right here, just fiberglass filler. I did that because if you can recall, it was kind of cracked right here. So I just did this to keep the shape. So when I put the fleece on it, I'd be good. Also right here, same way. And this front, I beveled this end down here. So it'll be a smooth transition with the fleece because it was sticking up a little bit right here because this part here like higher than this part back here. Well, it's the same height, it just, this here sitting back further. so the transition gonna be a lot smoother up here. I ain't got that much room. And let me show you the fleece I'm gonna use. I'm thinking about using this gray because I don't have enough. Well, I got enough for the blue, but the blue red thin. I'm gonna use this gray. I might just got to piece together 2 pieces. And we're gonna be using this Loctite, also the CA glue and staples. The reason why I'm gonna use all 3 because I'm gonna use the staples right here where the wood at. And I might not even use the Loctite, but if I do, I'm just gonna spray it just to keep it in place until I could secure it with some CA glue. The CA glue I'm gonna put right here because if you put staples in it, it don't want to hold sometimes. The staples just will pull out. And if you just use that Loctite, it'll come up when you start putting the resin on because it'll interact with the resin. I'm just gonna position the fleece. Make sure I can have enough, well, somewhat enough. I know it ain't gonna be enough to do this part here. I think that ought to be good. Now I'm gonna pull the fleece back halfway, which I don't even have to do that because I'm not gonna put no Loctite on it. I'm gonna put a staple right in the middle. That'll hold it in place. Let me show you. See, I got a staple in the middle. Now I can pull my fleece. I can pull it tight. I'm gonna pull it tight down here first. Then I'll pull it tight on the other end. Just gonna put some Loctite here. Just to hold it in place. Then I'll go on the other end, do the same thing. Need to buy another can of Loctite. Then I'll do the same thing on this back side and overlap it. The CA glue. Just to hold it in place. So it's gonna soak into the fleece. Then I'm gonna spray some. I'm gonna spray some hardener, activate on it. It's gonna hold it in place there. Here's the fleece. I just had to piece together this piece here. The rest of it was that whole piece of fleece. And where you see the red Sharpie at, that's where I gotta cut out once I fiberglass it. This for a mount, this for the ashtray, that's for the hood release. Now I finish up with the stapling. I step around my woodwork. Then I'll be good to go. Then I might just put this piece here back in just to hold it in place till I finish fiberglassing. There's the staples. Now it's time to deal with some resin. And I'm gonna be using up this bundle resin because I got over half a can left. So I'm gonna use this up before I open up another can. You can get this at Walmart, Lowe's, or Home Depot. And the size staples that I used was a 1/4 inch. I know a lot of folks be asking me what size staples I be using. And I got a mixing cup that I'm gonna mix my resin in. And I'm gonna brush it on with a chip brush. I got one somewhere here. Yeah, right here. I'm gonna brush it on with this chip brush. I'm just gonna put a coat of resin on the tire fleece. I'm not gonna worry about up here because I'm gonna cut this out eventually. Just up to the staples. I still gotta put that piece in now. But let's get started though. This the following morning. Fiberglass resin and dried. We're gonna move everything on the outside because I'd rather work with this on the outside than on the inside. As you can see, I got an old shower curtain there to keep the drips from falling on the floor, plus the fumes. But the next step after this, we gotta put some fiberglass on here to strengthen it up. You can either use fiberglass mat or fiberglass cloth. It's your choice, really don't matter. I got different size, different ounces of mat here. Got some here. Also got a roll here. And this the fiberglass mat you can buy at Walmart, Lowe's, or Home Depot. But I think we're gonna use cloth this time on this one here. I like to show you how to do stuff different ways, because there's always one way to skin a cat. There's really no wrong way of doing it. You just try to make your job go a lot smoother. So we're gonna cut some fiberglass cloth to size, then we'll start laying the cloth down. All right, let's open the package. See what we got. We're just gonna cut. I say about this much off of it. Go from there. Put the rest up. Then we'll start taking it over here to our piece, cutting it to size. The thing about the cloth, it works well on flat areas better than curved areas. The mat lay down a lot better on spots that's got a contour to it. Let me get some to cut it here. I can get a Sharpie and I can just draw it out, cut it out that way, like that there. Then I know where to cut it at. It's not hard. If you don't like the itch, I think this fiberglass cloth would be best to work with than that fiberglass mat. But you get the picture. It's going right here. Then I just work my way on around the whole piece. Pieces I cut off, I find a spot to put it. On this piece here, you can always trim it off if you got too much, but I try to get it somewhat the size it needs to be. Like that there. because once you put the mat, not the mat, but the resin on here, it's a lot harder to trim. So you want it somewhat to size. Let me bring you over here, show you what I'm doing. Just gonna cut that like that. Be done with it. Alright. I'll just remove it, cut it. It's gonna take long with get the pieces together, then fiberglassing it. I'll cut it back on once I get everything puzzled together. Show you where it's going now. Let me show you what I got. I almost got it covered. Still got to go back and piece in some spots. On this top side, I'm not going to do it yet. I'm going to wait till I finish this side, then I'll turn it over and do the top side. Now we got to put some resin on it. I'm not going to use this bundle resin because it's so thick. And it's gonna be hard to saturate the cloth. I'm gonna use this polyester resin by Fiberglass Supply Depot. It's a lot thinner and it'll penetrate the cloth so it'll stick. Or I could just take the cloth up if I want to use this Fiberglass bundle resin. Take the cloth up and put some resin on the Fiberglass. I'm losing my mind. Fiberglass. Not fiberglass, but yeah, I'm losing my mind, y'all. The fleece. Couldn't think of what it was. I could put some resin, some more resin on the fleece and get it wet and then put the cloth down. But I'm gonna keep from doing that by using the other resin. Okay. I got the resin mixed up. I just mixed up a little just to show you how it's done. I also got a chip brush. I'm gonna dab it on here. Let it soak in there. You can see where it's soaking in now. On spots that you don't want to remove the fiberglass cloth before you see, like if I start brushing it, I kind of put it out of place. That's why I was dabbing it. You want to get it saturated pretty good. You could saturate the see, I done fiberglass a lot of this over here. I just got to do that top side. I'm gonna show you me laying this down here, the fiberglass cloth down. You want to make sure you got your PPE on. I'm trying to hurry up because I don't want to breathe these fumes, but I want to let you know what I'm doing. I got my chip brush. I'm just gonna coat the fleece because it lay down a lot better if you got resin on the backside of it as well, especially this cloth. I'm just gonna coat it where I'm gonna be laying the cloth. I think I cut it. I think it stopped somewhere around here. I think that should be good. Then I'll get my cloth. I'll put it in position. Just like I cut it. See, I put some relief cuts up there so it lay down better. Then I'll take my chip brush. I'll brush some more resin on. Just that simple. It'll soak in eventually. All right, let me get my mask on. Then I'll finish up. Fiberglass done dried. Now, I'm gonna take it outside and I'm gonna knock all this down somewhat smooth. Then I'm gonna put another layer of fiberglass on it, but this time I'm gonna put some fiberglass mat on it. Let's show you how that works. I'm gonna try to trim up this too as well. Somewhat get it in shape. I'm gonna be using my DA. I got some 80 grit on it. I almost got it knocked down. I'm also trimming out the rest of the fleece. This backside as well. I'm using this cutoff tool. Comes in handy. Got a little bit more to go. Cut my fiberglass mat out now. About to start laying it. Got some strips to go here along this backside and so on. Think I'm gonna do it laying this way, and once it dry, flip it over, do the other side. Alright, we're gonna get started with the mat. It's pretty much the same process. Let me put this stir shake somewhere. Pretty much the same process as the cloth. I'm just gonna brush some mat on, not some mat, but some resin on. where I'm putting the fiberglass mat. It'll lay down much better like this here. It should be good. Then you take your mat, put it in place. I just dab it on, dab the rest of the resin on, which you could use a roller, but I just rather use a chip brush. Finally got all the fiberglass mat laid. Brought it back on the inside. Got dark on me. Should be good and strong now. With that fiberglass cloth. Then I came back with some mat on top of it. I'm not gonna mess with it till in the morning. In the morning I'll come back, sand this down, trim it out. Then I get some fiberglass filler and feather edge this backside onto the original dash. Also around here, I feather edge that. I cut this on out the fleece and feather edge that as well. Also this. Okay, now we finna start shaping it up. Fiberglass mat good and dry. I got some, I think this 60 grit. You can use 80 grit, but 60 grit will knock it down a lot faster. I'm gonna use it to knock all these jagged edges down on the DA. Okay, I got most of it knocked down with the 60 grit. Like around here, I'm gonna go back and cut all this out, trim it out with the cutoff wheel. Also trim this out. This for the cigarette lighter. Well, not the cigarette lighter, but the ashtray. Also trim this out. Only thing I might leave is this part up here until I wipe some fill on it, get it smooth. And I'll be trimming it out with this cutoff wheel. See, I done trimmed out everything with the cutoff wheel. If you're doing fiberglass work, I would suggest get you one of these from Harbor Freight. I think I paid probably about $7 for this. back in the days. But it cuts your work down a lot than trying to cut that out with a box cutter or sand it off. Like I said, I'm gonna wait to cut this out because I don't want to get no filler on my woodwork there. Keep from cleaning it off. But now you see all these, it ain't no bevel edge. I'm gonna clean it up. All my edges up with some body filler. Not body filler, but some fiberglass filler. This Door Glass here. I'll just be wiping some on, beveling it off. Then I'll go back and sand it. There go the fiberglass filler. Wiped on all my areas. I had went back and took a putty knife and trimmed out the inside before it got too hard. I just ran it across here to clean it up some. Because once that fiberglass filler dry, it's hard to sand. It's gonna get dark on me now, so I'll finish up in the morning. That's still kind of wet there. Now I take my DA with some 80 grit on it, and I just go over all my areas that I wipe with fiberglass filler. Some of the areas I'm gonna have to do by hand, like up in here, also here. But the majority of it I can knock down with the DA. All right, got the fiberglass filler trimmed up, knocked down. I was gonna go ahead and put some rondo on here, but I'm not sure about that because it ain't smooth enough yet. Thinking if I put the rondo on here, I still have to go back on the areas to fill it. So I'm just gonna wipe a skim coat of filler on all that. But before I wipe the filler on, I'm gonna go ahead and take the DA with the 80 grit on it, and I'm gonna trim this fleece out. I'm just gonna sand it, and once I sand it down far enough, it'll trim it off. Okay, here is the dash with the fleece trimmed out. I had went back and took a box cutter and dug out this here because it was an air pocket, a void, so I can get some filler down up in there. Also here. Now I take my filler, wipe a skim coat. I probably do this top section first, then I do the sides. But I'm gonna wipe a skim coat on all this here, probably starting from here. I'm gonna wipe it on this wood also, so I can feel the edge, everything out good. And this the filler I be using, the AG47 USC lightweight grip filler. Body filler applied all the way around. I know it look kind of rough, but that's the best thing about brushing it on with the rondo. It lays down easy and it looks a lot smoother. But it ain't no big deal because I'm finna knock it down with the DA. I think I gotta change the sandpaper. Yeah, I'm gonna knock it down with 80 grit. Somewhat get everything smooth. I got everything knocked down with the DA, all but the areas that I gotta do by hand. I just took the old sandpaper, the 80 grit, and I'm just gonna go around my edges and clean the edges up, like here, also here, around here, and there. This is what it looked like after the shaping around the edges. Before I started hand blocking it with a block, you could see like areas like this here where it's still dark greenish. Those low areas, like right here. Let me find another spot. So up in here, somewhat low, right here. I'm gonna take some body filler and just wipe with my finger, like right there, before I start hand blocking. There was another spot that I seen somewhere, but I'm just gonna go around the whole piece and just wipe those low areas before I start blocking. Here's the spots I touched up with the body filler. Now we'll sand that, we'll be good to go. I'm ready to move on to the next step. That's hand blocking. But before we do that, we're gonna spray a guide coat on it. That's gonna show us all our low areas. I'm just gonna be using this satin magenta. You can use any color you want. It doesn't matter, because you're gonna block it off anyway. I'm just gonna lightly mist it on. It ain't gotta be heavy. Okay, now we're gonna start blocking. Guide coat applied. We're gonna use some 80 grit on the block. What we're trying to do, we're trying to remove the guide coat. When you start blocking it, if you still see guide coat, that area that's gonna be low. So let me put some sandpaper on my block, we'll get started. Get us some sandpaper on our block. I'm using 80 grit because it's gonna be easy to block. You could use 180, but I'm gonna be priming, so it really don't matter. I'll be able to cover those scratches. Okay, right off top, you can see this area here is low. So we're gonna keep blocking it till we remove that guide coat. Okay, that's flat now. That's good. You want the whole dash to look like this here, but it might be some high areas like this area here. That's high, but it ain't no, well, it was high, because I done cut down. I done cut it down to flatten it out, so. But you don't want to see none of the magenta color. You don't want to see none of that. Let's continue. Oh, this is good. I just wanted to cut you back on right quick. It done started raining on me. But you can see all this here is good. But I stayed away from the edges because I'm gonna do those by hand with my fingers. Also, on this rounded part here, I'm just gonna take some sandpaper, do it by hand. But all the flat areas, I'm gonna use the block. Okay, now we done did all the blocking with the block, as you can see. Now I got me some 80 grit, folded in half and tore it in half. Now we're gonna get all our edges, our contours. Pretty simple. So all you gotta do is just round it off keeping the shape of it. We don't want to square it off. Once you remove the gas coat, you're pretty much straight. Same way with the up in here. Gonna do it the same way. I'm actually done with the sanding, but I found a few more spots that I was touching up. This was an air void, air pocket that I opened up, put some more fill in it. And right here was somewhat off, so I'm trying to line that up. Most of them are just voids that I filled. And I had to fix this area here with some CA glue. It was cracked coming up, so glued that back down. Now I done grabbed all the other pieces for the dash. I'm gonna have to sand these pieces down. And this piece here, we're gonna take this off. It's gonna be a Malibu sand, because it's actually a Monte Carlo dash, but it's going on the Malibu. And it's also cracked right here, so I'm gonna have to try to fix that. Sand this down. Look like some plastic to put some on here. But this going black. This gonna go black. This gonna stay black, but I'm gonna paint this the color of the dash. This gonna be the color of the dash, and that's gonna be the color of the dash. It's also cracked right there, but you can't see that. So we're gonna leave it like it is. But we're gonna tackle this right here. Try to repair this. This where I had touched up. When I did the woodwork, it wasn't even, so I put some body filler there trying to even it on out. And over here, I done started sanding all these pieces with some Scotch-Brite, maroon Scotch-Brite. And I repaired this piece, this the back side. I just got a lot of body filler here, make it sturdy and strong. Then I came back with some regular filler to smooth it on out. This is what it look like up here. I just gotta prime it, shape it on up some more. And for us to sanding on this here, you just need some Scotch-Brite, like I said, just to scuff it up so your paint will burn. Don't take much. I'm gonna take these vents out. He's missing one already, so he's gonna have to get one. So I'm just gonna take these out. Look like I might gotta fill this here. I don't know, it's something on here. I don't know if it's, no, it might come off. It's just something. I thought it was a scratch. But I'll take some wax and grease remover and try to get that off. Need to go ahead and remove this. Look like it's stapled on. Let me remove this so I cut you back on once I get through sanding. What I did to get this glue, whatever it was, I took some wax and grease remover with the Scotch-Brite. Just kept on rubbing it, it came on off. But I'm gonna set this to the side because I'm finna start priming up the dash. This here going black, so I paint this probably, I might paint it before the dash or after the dash. All my black pieces I'm gonna set to the side. I think those two, the only pieces going black, with this going black and the color of the dash. So let's take everything on the inside and get set up to start shooting a primer. Ready to spray some primer now. I had wiped it down with a damp rag. Get that dust off of it. I almost forgot to drill out these holes for the mount. And I got these here. Gotta prime them up. Let's mix up this primer. We're gonna put at least 2 coats on it, maybe 3. I'm about to spray out my black pieces now. I'm just gonna be spraying this lock black, but I'm gonna mask up the rest of it. I gotta mask up the gauge cluster, but he said he's gonna get a digital gauge, but I'm still gonna mask it up. Or I could just take it out. Yeah, I might just take it out. And I'm just gonna spray this and that, but I'm not gonna mask it up. I just mask the black up when I spray the rest of it. Everything masked now. I wipe it down with some wax and grease remover. Wipe down now, ready to spray my adhesion promoter. You want to spray that on plastics, because a lot of times paint don't want to bond to it, so you want to spray that adhesion promoter. It don't really matter what brand you use. I had grabbed this can here, but the cap or something with a tip stopped up, so I'm just gonna spray this sand-free adhesion promoter by Sims. I also got some I spray out my gun, but it doesn't really matter. All at the same, no matter what brand. Here's the results of the satin black. Now I just gotta put everything back together. I gotta paint this here though. The color of the dash. Also with something else. Oh, I still gotta paint this. Which I'm gonna do that when I paint the dash. I got all my black pieces over here in the corner drying up. Now I jump back over here on this dash. It's dry after the primer. At first I was gonna block this with a 180, but I decided not to. I decided to just go straight to wet sand because I'm putting a texture on it anyway, so it's gonna cover a lot of these scratches. But I'm gonna block it with 320, and I got enough prime on here so I can block those scratches out. So let's spray this guide coat on it using flat black. I forgot to fill my pinholes, like spots like this here. I usually fill those before I spray the guide coat on it because it's easy to see, but I still can see them though. I'm gonna be filling those with some 1-part glazing putty. I'll do that now. A lot of these pinholes be blocked out during the wet sand. I'm just gonna get the biggest ones, or the bigger ones. Then I'm thinking about spraying a seal on here before I spray the actual color, so that'll help out as well. But I did a lot of sanding before I even sprayed the primer. That's why it's so smooth now. And all that was with 80 grit. But I'm gonna skip the 180, go straight to 320. Kill some tan. Now if I was putting a glossy finish on here, I would have went through all the steps, but since it's going texture in the way, you're not gonna be able to tell. All the pinholes and imperfections filled. It's a lot of them on it. I'm not gonna wet sand till in the morning. That'll give me enough time for my other pieces to dry so I can mask those off. I gotta mask this off and spray the color on it, so I don't want to touch them until they dry. That way I let my primer dry on up, which is dry to the touch now, but I'm just gonna wait till in the morning, do the wet sand. I'll cut y'all back on then. Here's the following morning. I'm gonna start wet sanding, show you what I got. I got 2 different blocks and some 320. I already got a sheet in here that I had on the block earlier, well, from a time before. We're gonna drop our blocks in there, let it soak for a minute or 2, then we'll start blocking it. Most of it I'm just gonna do it by hand, just these flat areas, I'll block those areas. But the rest of it, I just had the sandpaper in my hand because it's pretty much smooth now from the first block. All right, let's get our block out. Got the sandpaper in here somewhere. There you go. Put it on our block. Like I said, this paper here been used before, but it's still good. We're gonna start out with it. Get a rag. Just gonna be removing the gag coat like before. Already you can see it's not gonna take much to remove it. It's pretty much flat. And you still can see the 80 grit scratches there, like right here. You want to get rid of all those. It need to be looking like this here. All right, let's continue. Still need to come down some more. You can see I haven't cut through the primer because I put enough primer on here to block all the scratches out. We're gonna speed up the process here. Dash completely sanded. I also washed it off. I'm letting it dry now. Now I gotta go inside and mask up the glove box. Also, let me take you inside and show you. See, I gotta mask up this area here, the back of the box. Cause the only thing I'm painting is the front part here. The rest of it gonna stay black. And I forgot to paint the grills black, so I gotta paint these. And I decided not to paint any of this, the color of the dash, just keep it black. Cause I didn't want to do too much to it. If Ike want to paint it on down the line, he can. I got everything wiped down, staged up, ready to be shot. This the cover to the door where the LED gonna be. I'm just gonna paint it the same color as the dash for the background. These going the same color. But I'm gonna spray a bed liner on the dash before I spray the color. I know I said I was gonna shoot a seal on it, but I went back and watched my old video when I did Life with the Ikes box Chevy dash, and I didn't spray no seal on it. I just went straight to the bed liner, then the color. And he said he wanted the same color, so I'm gonna go about it the same way. I just used that video as reference. And these here, I'm gonna spray that adhesion promoter like I did the other pieces on these plastic pieces. But the rest of it, I'm finna spray this bed liner on it. Let me show you the bed liner. It's by Rust-Oleum. It's clear. Really don't matter if you get black or clear. But if I would have got black going with a light color, it would have took long with the cover, so I went with clear. Let me put my mask on, we'll get to spraying. Here's the bed liner. When you spraying this bed liner, you want to keep that can moving because sometimes the spray come out like a real sharp stream. You'll get some runs in it if you don't keep it moving. Kind of thick right there though. It'll be okay. It dry real quick though. It's dry now. Now I spray my adhesion promoter on these pieces here. Will be good for the color. Here's the base coat, the slick base bone base coat by Hurricane. Mixes 2 to 1. I'm gonna be spraying out my saddle mini jet 4400. Here's 3 coats of the bone color. Let me take you over here with a dash at. I'm gonna put a flat clear on this here because this is more like a satin finish. I like it like this here, but I want some protection on it, and I got a flat clear that I'm gonna apply to it. It's gonna flatten it out a little bit. This got like a little sheen to it. You could spray it out of a can. I got some flat clear in a spray can, but I don't know where it's at, so I'm gonna be spraying mans out the gun, out the spray gun. Here's 3 coats of the flat clear. Now you can see how it flattened the sheen out. I'm gonna let it sit out here overnight before I start touching on it, moving it around, which is dry to the touch now. But I'm gonna let the clear harden up. Then I grab all my pieces like the vent to go here. I put that back on. My grills, mesh grills, the glove box. Also this piece here, and piece to go over the gauge cluster. Oh, I forgot about the Plexi-Glass. I'll probably do that first. Then I'll put the rest of the stuff on. Because I gotta put the LEDs on this back side here. Then I gotta put the cover on. I'll cut you back on probably tomorrow sometime. Give you another look at it. Well, today I plan on assembling the dash back together, putting the glove box on, this piece here, putting the LEDs and the Plexi-Glass in, and the speaker mesh. I got most of it here. We're gonna take it out. I'm gonna glue these, not glue them. I probably just use some body fill on these here, on the back side. Not sure at the moment. I'll come up with something in a minute. I think our first task is gluing these in place. I think I'm just gonna use some body filler. It'll be the cleanest. Or I could use some hot glue. Now I'll just put some body filler on it. Just in probably here, there, now. But I'm gonna tape up around the edge first. Here is this here, the body filler on it. Now I'm working on this plexiglass compartment. It just falls in place, but I'm gonna put some glue down here to hold it in place. Then I'm gonna go back and put some LEDs around it, on top of it, all around the outside of it. Then I screw this compartment on. I gotta drill a hole so I can fish the wires through first though. Okay, I got the plexiglass in place. I drilled a hole so I can fish my wires through. Then I'm just gonna screw this down because you might need to change the LEDs out. Anything might happen. I'm not gonna glue this down. I'll probably put a screw at the top and a screw at the bottom. Should be good enough. I decided to put 4. But you want to drill some holes first because you don't want to split the wood before you start screwing it in. I'm going to use a screwdriver instead of a drill also. I'm just heat shrinking my wires now. Finally got the dash put together. I'm not gonna put the vents in because you got to get some new ones. And this the old emblem, Monte Carlo. Let me show it to you. See, you got one with the Malibu sign on it now. The glove box. He still got to get this trim piece to go over here. I think he said he gonna get a iPad or something right there. At first he wanted me to do one, but then he changed his mind. I'm not sure what he gonna do now. But this would have looked like. This piece here I just got it sitting up just to give you an idea what it looked like. I got one screw just holding it on because I hate for it to fall. Just my lucky to fall. You need to get him a brake release. Let me show you the top of it. Here's the vents with the mesh grill. They're removable. Plexiglass with LEDs. Shout out to Rich Everything. Let me hook up these LEDs and show them to you. like I said, he wanted, so if you be at a car show, you'll be able to read the sign from the outside of the car. That's why I got it turned around that way. But I got it hooked up to a battery here. See that? Malibu Danni. She gonna be cutting up out there. Let me cut these lights off. If y'all need some Plexi-Glass work done, go holler at Rich Everything. I'm gonna put his YouTube channel down in the description. Also, should be popping up. Y'all stay tuned. I got a few more fiberglass projects that I'm doing now in the making. But fiberglass is real time consuming. That's why I don't really like taking it, because it takes away from me doing other work like body work and paint. It's real time consuming. But y'all stay tuned. Y'all tell me what y'all think about it.
Some more stuff done on this Malibu, man. I gotta get it ready so I can get it to sprayway. Man, I got some, boy, that dashboard that sprayway did for this thing, so gangster. Woo! Man, woo! I ain't gonna do it in this video, man, but later on, man, I'm gonna have to give y'all a sneak peek, man. Sprayway, well, I appreciate you, boy.
Nobody really gave a damn about us. We never stopped.